welcome to everybody here for the ceremony of the USAII Global Hackathon. And we're going to start by introducing Dr. Milton Maddox. He's the CEO of the United States Artificial Intelligence Institute. He's a technology leader with over 30 years of experience in AI and cybersecurity and engineering. And Dr. Maddox has served in senior leadership roles, including CTO, COO, and VP of Engineering. I'd like to now pass it to the CEO of USAII. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Milton Maddox.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whether you're joining us from La Ciudad de Mexico or from my adopted hometown, Bengaluru, India, I want to thank you for participating in our inaugural Global AI Hackathon. You came here to showcase your skills in artificial intelligence. In doing so, you displayed the skills of determination and global collaboration. Those last two skills, they're perhaps the most important skills of all because they are uniquely human and they cannot be replicated or duplicated by AI. For this reason, you are already winners. And we want to extend a heartfelt thank you and congratulations from USAII. We have a lot to cover today, so I'm turning it back over to Mike to get things kicked off. And again, enjoy yourselves today, and thank you so much for participating. Enjoy.
Thank you, Dr. Milton. And as you can see, we have a jam-packed agenda for today's ceremony. And over the course of the hackathon, I've had the privilege of meeting many students, learners, and educators. But there were a few that really stood out and helped open doors for students, encourage innovation, and really show what it means to lead with purpose. So
thank you. So welcome, everyone. We're so excited. Like Mike said, we have a lot to cover today. Just want to kind of go through a few stats. I know I've been talking to a lot of the students on Discord and email, and everyone was very curious about how big this was, how many students passed on to various different gates. I'm going to go through all that. Thank you. So we started with 6,000 pre-registered students from about 90 countries. So that ended up being that we had over 5,500 students start the qualifier, over 2,200 advanced to the hackathon, and resulted in about over 800 teams qualifying to participate in the actual hackathon. And the qualifier, as you remember, was an AI readiness exercise that we all did as teams to make sure that you were able to demonstrate your AI thinking to prepare you for the hackathon. Then the actual hackathon, we had over 200 mentors and judges, and I was so excited to see many of you take advantage of that, working with mentors in Discord. We had over 20 speakers during our Builder AI series. So as stated, we have had over 2,200 advancing to the hackathon with 808 teams. How that team then submitted projects into the actual hackathon in DevPost. We had 436 of those teams advanced to round 2, and now we ended up with 15 winners, which is what we will announce today. Before we get started, Jimish was one of our leaders in the mentors that you were able to work with, and I wanted him to share a couple words about his experience mentoring with all the students in the hackathon. Jimish, take it away.
Thank you, Marcy. I think it's been an honor to be here and part of USAII Global Hackathon. As one of the mentors and the leading coordinator with the mentor group, I had opportunity to work with lots of students from different countries, education backgrounds, and across multiple batches. One thing that stood out that throughout this journey, there was a creativity, curiosity, and determination that all the teams bring to the challenges. What impressed me the most is it was not just technical, how kids were able to learn about AI response. They weren't simply building AI models, they were learning to define the meaningful problems, consider ethics and human oversight, and design actual real-world problems with the help of all the challenges that we put together. And also they are really able to clearly communicate their ideas. Those skills that they have learned in the hackathon will going to stay with them long after this hackathon. Behind the scenes, we have our mentors who work closely to guide the teams answer any questions, review ideas, help create the best possible experience for every participant, being active on Discord. During the first round, where everyone had to go through the qualifier round, and then throughout the hackathon, we also collaborated with all the organizing and engineering teams to continuously improve the platform uh, and ensure the students stay focused on learning and innovation. To all the participants, I will say thank you very much for your hard work and willingness to learn. Whether you receive an award today or not, you already have accomplished something meaningful. You have challenged yourself, collaborated with the teammates, and gained experience solving real-world problems using AI. I will also thank the entire USAI organizing, my fellow mentors, judges, and volunteers. Events like this only become successful because of the dedication of so many people working behind the scene. Congratulations to all our winners. Congratulations to all the students who participated. I hope this experience inspires you to continue learn, build, and use AI to create solutions that make positive impact on the world. Thank you and congratulations once again.
Jimesh, thank you so much for your words, and thank you for your support of the event. And now we're going to move on to Kesev. Just a few words. Thank you. He was a judge in the event and was one of our judge leads. So we have a few words from Kesev about what the judging experience was like with the students.
Hey everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for the global audience. And first of all, thank you, Marcy, for this opportunity. This was so rewarding, and you are an energy and the force, and without you, this wouldn't have happened. And also, thank you to USAI for the opportunity as well. So this has been a super rewarding experience. So what stood out to me was the global, participants with more than 90 plus countries that not only had teams within their own country, but people across collaborating across different countries. And hopefully, that brought diverse perspectives between every single participant. And with AI diffusion index being different among different countries, I hope, everyone learned different techniques from different people, and that was super useful for them. What made or what stood out was that while judging and also while looking at the other judges who are scoring the participants, the problems that they cared about was very truly humanist, and they wanted to help make the humanity go towards the next step by utilizing AI as a tool and make the next step, and not as sort of something that replaces the human effort. So that I deeply value. And also, I personally care about responsible AI very much, and I currently work in the domain. So people deeply caring about the responsible AI in terms of their projects, in terms of what guardrails they're putting in, and how they're making the use of AI to improve the experience for the humanity was truly inspiring, and it was very good to judge. So before we recognize the winners, I wanted to congratulate every participant and the finalists. And judging was difficult in the best possible way. There were so many good ones, and it because so many teams brought creativity and stuff. It was really good to judge all of those different projects.
Thank you, Kesev, so much, and thank you also for your support of this event and leading us in the judging. Now we're going to move on to our keynote. Nataliya Shakhovska, I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name correctly, Professor, from Lviv Polytechnic National University. She is our keynote and will say a few words to you about responsible AI and the work that she's been doing at the Institute. Over to you.
First of all, thank you for this possibility to be here in this hackathon in the closing ceremony. And my speech is today about explainable AI, or actually when can we trust machine decisions. And explainable AI, it's not a buzzword, but as a precondition for trusting machine decision when it's take the real. My speech is about real studies made in Lviv Polytechnic National University. And these decisions, this research span very different domains. Clinical diagnosis, deepfake and AI text decision, salary forecasting. But all of that share the one thread. A model is only as useful as our ability to know when to believe it and how actually we can explain the result. And benchmark accuracy is real, but this is not a condition. It is some stationary honest data on hardware that doesn't fall. In a high-stress setting, those assumptions break together. And there are a lot of different failed models. First of all, this is black box. It means the decision with no usable rationality. And actually, this is example of a lot of neural networks. And we have very good decision. We have high rank analysis of results, but unfortunately, we don't know how actually this decision is made. The second one, this is deepest danger, a silence feature. A model that has left it a component region doesn't announce. And it keeps a prediction confidently. And the third, this is, there are domains where the confident mistake is very costly, for example, medicine. And that's why explainability looks very reasonable, and it gives a wrong answer, a false A of trustworthy. That's why we would like to find how actually we can explain our decision. And the quick map of the methods used for explainability. The first one, this is SHAP or Shapley value, and this is ensemble of methods allow us to explain which attributes probably sum to the output. The second one, this is, for example, GradCam gives visual heat map for image and video. The next one, this is permutation importance measure, show us how actually shifting a feature and watching accuracy fall. And here you can see that different methods can be used for different data with different level of explainability and trustworthiness. That's why all of that can be used for different data. And that's why I would like to tell you about 3 different domains. And the first one, this is healthcare. And the first application in healthcare, this is actually Kriw-Pati syndrome. This is actually something new. This data set is built in one of our veterans hospitals. So this is very new data. More than 2,500 patients were collected information about these patients, 14 diagnoses, and the data set is very imbalanced. It means that around 80% belong to one class. And to do that, there are a lot of different methods are implemented from scratch to show the computation is transparent, no hidden dependence between data. And there are different explainability wins. First of all, this is analysis of the main features, the influence of each feature to the final decision, and it allows us to minimize the risk of black box. The second, this is calibration. It means expected calibration on the largest number of classes and explainability of the probability of these classes. And It means that for healthcare domain, we must use different methods of explainability because the risk of error is very high in class if you have very imbalanced data. The second example or the second domain is information integrity, spotting AI-made content. And to do that, we analyzed different systems. The first one, this is deepfake video, and hybrid networks are used for them as a model. First of all, CNN for each frame feature analysis, and LSTM or long short-term memory neural network for temporal consistency. And to have explainability, one of the methods, such as I mentioned before, GradCam, is used as well. And actually allow us to use heat maps and to find in the video actually results where video and where slides in this video, frames in this video were changed. And actually, the second one, this is machine-generated text. We modify fast the text GPT to classify from a few interpretable statistics, such as perplexity, D-score, to find the probability of machine-generated code. We used 50,000 word vocabulary and use different LLMs to show how actually this text can be marked as machine generated. The next domain is labor economics, or actually salary forecasting, where the data is heterogeneous, heavy-tailed, and crucially non-stationary data. And it allows us to find actually the new role, AI engineer, and this engineer is this role in dataset is around 28% of the whole dataset. That's why we are talking about imbalanced data again. And the pipeline pairs robust three models. First of all, boosting model, LiGBM with classical forecasting. Next, this is time series data analysis, or actually SARIMA, and makes the whole set explainable. In that case, we used SHAP or Shapley value that allow us to find errors in predictions, and that exactly show the transparency as a human research manager or policymaker needs before acting. And also additional data drift, or shifting of our data was analyzed as well. And this is additional challenge to trustworthy and to our data. But can we trust the explanation itself? This is actually the new experience, and trustworthy and explainability. This is just additional models used in addition to classical machine learning or deep learning model. And our proposition to solve this problem is to combine actually classical models and explainable models as well. And we use different models to analyze explainability, to have more trustworthy data. And four things actually to take away. The first one, the high stakes AI explainability is a precondition to trust, not a nice to have. The second one, a single explainability toolkit carries across widely different domains, such as medicine, fake detection, economy, etc. Frontiers is certification, not just the prediction, but explanation itself. And this is actually competence involvement. And the fourth, the principles that ties it together, a system that know its limits and says, I don't know here, is safer than one that fails silently with very nice story. And thank you for possibility to be with you, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Professor. And the work you're doing is amazing at the university. And I'm sure if the students look up your work, they'll be able to learn even more about that. Okay, now we are ready to move on to get us to the awards. So real quick, I'm not going to read through all these stats. You will all get this deck afterwards, so you'll have all this information. So I just want to make you aware of what is on this. So we did some feedback, and so as you can see here, we got great feedback on the experience from the students. One thing I wanted to note at the bottom, one student noted that this hackathon changed how I think about AI. Responsible AI is not just a warning label, it has to be built into the way you design from day one. That sums up the mission for this hackathon. So I think we are thrilled with the experience that we had for the students. Okay, so now on to the awards. We've got 15 winners, 3 tracks with 6 challenge briefs. All of this being presented by USAII. Here we go. So in each section, I'm going to do a little track recap for high school, undergrad, then grad, and then go through the winners. Okay, so here we go. The track recap for high school. So 321 qualified, 256 submitted projects, 200 advanced to round 2 with an average score of 70 and high score of 100. You've got numbers here to show you how the distribution was across. Challenge breakdown, we gave you 4 different challenges to choose. The most popular one was the crisis to action translator. And you can see here that we had a truly global gallery. We had students and teams from all these various and more countries. Some highlights on some of the projects that were submitted in the crisis to action translator. We saw projects on plain language translation of official documents. We saw voice AI navigation for blind users in crisis. And we saw emotional state detections for autistic children. Wow, amazing. High school level students taking on these big challenges. In the food waste rescue radar, we saw things such as cafeteria to school fit food waste predictors. We saw real attendance data driven forecasting, and we saw CO2 cost impact tracking and dashboard. Once again, how amazing is this that we've got high school students tackling these big challenges. And now for the winners. Grand prize winner goes to Team Alasha. They took on the crisis to action translator, and this is the team. We've got, and I'm going to apologize up front on my pronunciation of the names, but they created Help for Life After Prison already exists. It's scattered. What they found is that it was scattered, and Alasha turns it into one guided path home for 600,000 plus people leaving prison every year. How impressive this, high schoolers taking on this big challenge, and this is the winning team for the grand prize. Okay, now for runner-up, the winner is Wayfinder. Once again, taking on the crisis to action translator. This team, Arnav, Arat, and Jotun, they created a personal AI caseworker for U.S. refugee benefits, answering a few questions, see what you qualify for, and let Wayfinder autofill your application so you never have to figure out the system alone. Once again, amazing high school students taking on this really well worthwhile and challenging project. Congrats, guys. And here we are, 3rd place. The winner is Cabinet Clear. Once again, took on the Crisis to Action Translator Challenge. Cabinet Clear came up with turns a confusing hospital discharge letter and a messy medicine cabinet into a clear AI verified plan of what to keep, take, or throw away. So Zainab and Yagmar, congratulations on your project. High school, then we had our 3 prizes, but then we also wanted to award some very special awards, one for those that demonstrated responsible AI and one for social impact. So the first one for responsible AI goes to Green Spark AI, and they created Find the Waste, Fund the Charge. It's an AI-powered tool that helps schools understand the environmental impact of everyday choices. It turns data about energy use, water consumption, waste, recycling, transportation, and food habits into a clear visual insight that students, teachers, administration can easily understand. Way to go, Isma, Mason, and Xmena. Great job, great project to take on. And the world's going to be a better place for you tackling these hard problems. And the last award for high school for social impact goes to Compass. Compass, Arnav, Aravav, and James, congratulations. They took on a parent receives an electricity shutoff notice and doesn't know where to start. So they created Compass that turns a crisis described in plain words into a ready-to-file packet of local aid. You decide when to file. Once again, wonderful project to take on. Congratulations to the team. So those were our high school winners. Now we're going to move on to undergraduate. So undergraduate, we had 427 teams that qualified. We had 324 teams that actually submitted a project in DevPost. That 200 of those made it down to round 2. They had an average score of 69.5 with the top score being 98. And you can see where the other teams fell out in there. Once again, they had 4 challenges to choose from, Benefits Navigator being a top choice, and Life Decision Simulator and 0 to 1 Builder, close follow-up there. Once again, you can see we had teams from all these various different countries, and some of the highlights from this group in the Benefits Navigator, we had undergraduate students taking on welfare scheme discovery. We had some taking on multilingual voice-guided benefit chat. We had some taking on senior and casework-facing navigator tools. Wow, amazing projects for our undergraduate students. Those are just a few of the highlights. And some of the ones in Life Decision Simulator and 0 to 1 Builder, we had students creating a career life path trade-off versus Monte Carlo simulators. We had students taking on startup ideas, pressure testing, a build or kill tool. We had someone doing a second brain, a decision support engine, and someone doing assumption mapping, 30, 60, 90-day roadmaps. These are going to be, I just hope some of these projects get out into the production, because these are amazing projects that you guys have taken on. Okay, let's move on to the winners for undergraduate. Grand prize for the undergraduate is Zen. Our team Zen was by Diego and Stephanie. Zen is a web-based benefits navigator, no app to download, works on any device in English, Spanish, and French. Google gives you a list. Zen guides you through, tells you where you qualify, explains why in your language, and follows through until help actually arrives. That's the difference. Wow, that is amazing. How about that? I mean, they did a lot of comparison to Google, but they saw the pain and created something that is really, really beneficial on helping people identify where they can get benefits. Okay, runner-up for undergraduate is Too Long AI. Okay, this is Team Christina, Mark, Ragakin, Zybert, and Matthew. They created an AI-powered benefits navigator helping Filipino families discover which of the 4 government programs they may qualify for in plain language with real steps. Once again, they identified a pain point in a very specific category for Filipino, and then took that information that probably is scattered and large and brought it into a very user-friendly way in which the individuals can use this. Congratulations, team. Okay, third place, undergraduate, goes to Team Launchify. They took on the second brain for real life, a 0 to 1 builder. So this is Ben, Elaine, and Eric. And here's what they took on. Know what you don't know before you build. How important is that? We heard that from everybody. And that's what this hackathon really helped you try to do, is really plan, think about, is this really the right problem to solve? Is there a pain point here? So they created an AI-powered startup co-pilot that helps aspiring founders move from a vague idea to a structure, stress-tested execution plan. I can imagine that this is going to be widely used. Great job, guys. Okay, undergraduate award winner. Once again, for responsible AI, one of our unique awards goes to Team Haven. Team Haven, Aditya and Siddhartha, apologize for my pronunciation. They took on the challenge. Are you facing eviction in England? Haven checks if your notice is even legal, shows you how much time you have, and tells you exactly what to do next based on the most recent law as of the 1st of May, 2026. So once again, identified a very specific problem that a lot of people were being challenged with, and then brought that information together to make this really user-friendly for those that were experiencing that problem. Way to go, team. Great job. Okay. Now, the Social Impact Award for undergraduate goes to Team Nariri. Once again, I apologize for my pronunciation. Franco and Shadrach, you won here. In West Africa, families miss aid that they're legally entitled to, not because it doesn't exist, but because the system is too hard to navigate. Nariri finds that. This is so valuable. I mean, once again, a pain point that is felt by a large group of individuals in West Africa, and helping them take all of that maybe disparate information, bring it into one very easy way to get to this information, and giving people a path to go forward. Great job. Congrats to all of our undergraduates. Way to go. Now let's move on to graduate. We had 60 teams qualify. We had, of those 60 teams, 42 submitted a project in DevPost. Of those, 36 advanced to round 2 with an average score of 70 and a top score of 100. And you can see the rest of the scores here on this page. Challenge breakdown. Once again, they also had 4 challenges that they could work with. The top one was the cost of doing nothing simulator, but we also had a lot of people that really took on some heavy topics like AI against human exploitation and community AI blueprint, and also survivor care, economic recovery. These are very heavy, hard topics that the world is needing solved, and our graduates took this on. Once again, you can see that we have a very global gallery of those that participated here. And let me highlight a few of them in this area. So the Safe Passage, this was a nonprofit that worked with us to help define this actual challenge. And they take on human exploitation. And so they needed some ideas and some work on how this could be done. And so we had some teams take this on. We had one team that created a cross-account predator pattern detection. Wow, that the world needs. Conversation risk scoring, human reviewed. Another one took on online grooming, early warning analysis tools. And another took on multi-platform exploitation alert system. I've been in conversations with Safe Passage, the team, and they are looking at these projects and so excited about what has been done in their area. We also have teams that did something in the cost of doing nothing. This is so important because many times it feels like it's costly or heavy to create something. But if you look at the flip side, what is the cost of doing nothing? That sometimes is the best way to look is, should we solve this problem? And these teams took that on. We had teams look at housing and lead pipe deferral cost modeling. We had someone look at transit delay costs to workers. We had another one taking on air traffic controlling staffing crisis. That is in the news constantly. Antibiotic resistance inaction modeling. These are some really important topics that if we don't do something in this world, it's going to not be we could really run into bigger problems. So they were really highlighting for us what problems we may need to really focus on so that we don't get to that spot. Okay, now for the winners. Grand prize for the graduate track goes to Opioid Action Engine. So this is from Morgan and Ted. The opioid epidemic doesn't wait for funding to catch up. The Opioid Action Engine turns opioid crisis data into policy action. They quantified costs, drafted interventions, and simulated their decade-long impact. It shows officials not just what action costs, but what it's worth. This really, really has a huge impact on humans today. Congratulations, team. Now for the runner-up. in the graduate track, it goes to Tower Guard. Tower Guard is from Boru and Young. Tower Guard quantifies the cost of doing nothing in America's air traffic controller staffing crisis. I'm sure we can all raise our hands right now who has felt the pain of having the challenge there with trying to get on flights and everything else. And a lot of this due to all of this staffing crisis with air traffic controller. This was a huge topic to take on, a lot of data out there that they brought together into some really meaningful dashboards that will be able to really explain the cost if nothing gets done about this issue. Congratulations, team. Now for third place in the graduate awards goes to Team Outliers, and they took on the Safe Passage, the AI against digital exploitation. So Peter, Stacy, Sunday, and Victor, they looked at this. They are wanting to defeat the 911 queue. They created an AI triage system that intercepts overflow, dynamically clusters duplicates, and instantly prioritizes life-threatening emergencies. Wow, this was a lot to take on. I really congratulate you for taking on this big topic. I would really love to see something like this gets out. This is something that really should be looked at further. This is a wonderful, wonderful topic. Congratulations, team. And now for the Responsible AI Award for Graduate, it goes to NightSafe. NightSafe was Mokshed and Nayina. They looked at AI that helps city planners score road corridors according to street feature risk, estimate the cost of acting now versus waiting, decide where to put night safety budgets. How important is this? This is something that should be presented to a lot of the communities I'm sure that we all are living in, and that could be something very helpful to see. Congratulations, team. Great job on this work. And our last award for today for social impact at the graduate level goes to SafeAid. SafeAid was Ashaya and Emmanuel. They created an AI-powered platform that routes trafficking survivors and vulnerable people to the nearest shelter, NGO, or emergency contact versus SMS or web app. No smartphone needed. This is so needed. And I know in talking to Safe Passage, this is also a very topic that they are wanting to help solve. So I'm sure they're going to be very excited to look at your project. Congratulations, team. This was amazing. So round of applause for all of our winners. You guys you blew me away. I mean, these projects were unbelievable. And I really hope that you continue to work in this area. You continue to take on challenges. Nothing is too hard. You guys can tackle this stuff. You have challenged yourself this week, and now you've created a process so you know how to take these problems, unpack them, and start solving them, the really hard ones. So congratulations, USAI, everyone who's involved with this. We are so proud of all the work that you guys have done. So what's next? We need to do a quick team member validation. You'll be getting an email shortly. Mike is going to come back on soon and talk to you about certifications and scholarships and all that work. But real quick, I just want to let you know that we need to validate team members on that. And also, I really, really want to make sure that you get feedback on all the work you've done. So every team will be getting feedback from the qualifier and feedback from the hackathon. We've pulled together all the feedback from the scoring engines, the AI engines, all the feedback from the judges, and we'll be putting all that together and giving each team all of that feedback so you can take those learnings and go forward. So you understand where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and then you can kind of make a plan of how you can continue to learn with AI. And just so a reminder for everyone, on DevPost, all the public gallery is live, so you can go out and look at all of these projects that are out there. Later today, I will have the winners posted out there so that you'll be able to identify those from the gallery. And that is it. So congrats again. I'm going to pass this back to Mike, who's going to talk to you about the scholarships, certificates, and how you continue learning down your AI path.
Yeah, thanks, Marcy, and congrats to all the winners, and actually congrats to all the participants. I think the big winner here is going to be the angel investors who see these projects, because I reviewed them on DevPost and all of them were top quality. So the VCs, angel investors, I got to feel feeling we've got the next Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs on this call. And, I'd love to hear a few words from Micah Arnold and Biswajit. Micah, if you want to just give us some thoughts. Micah, as I said, is the Chief Product Officer from DeVry.
Hey, thanks, Mike. And on behalf of all of us at DeVry, what an awesome event to be a part of. Thank you for including us. To the DeVry University students who were able to participate in this, we're incredibly proud and incredibly excited to see you represent our community with such courage and curiosity and collaboration. Very excited to be a part of this, and just wish everyone continued success with their projects. And after seeing this, I'm very excited to see what you all go on to build next. So thank you very much, and congratulations again to all the winners.
Yeah, thanks, Micah. And let's hear from Qatar, gateway to the Arabian Gulf. I work very closely with Bajit, like I did with Micah. Bajit is from the Burla School in Doha. So I'll pass it to you.
Thank you, Mike. Namaste to everybody. And it is Marcy, thank you so very much. What a incredible line of winners today, and what kind of this you can say innovation is coming up in the world, which is beyond imagination. When we are in college, like we have to wait till our pass out and all that, then we'll go for the company and we'll think something for the society. But kids are now, they are thinking beyond the school hours. They are thinking, they are creating, they are doing something very thrilling. I'm very excited to be a part of this, and thanks, Mike, for this opportunity. And Marcy, absolutely, what the world is like getting nowadays is like beyond our imagination, beyond our thinking, and it's the AI which is learning, and our kids are like also they are working as AI because they are learning, they are doing mistakes, they are changing the future of the technology. This is all from my side, and thanks, Mike, for bringing me here, and thanks to USAII for bringing this platform and bringing all the students together, work together, collaborate, and learn many things. And thank you so very much for me being here. Thank you very much for bringing me here. Over to you, Marcy.
Our pleasure. Yeah, no, our pleasure, and congrats to the Burla School of Doha in DeVry. And I'm going to pass it to Dr. Bara from the American University of Bahrain.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. It is a true honor to be a part of the USAII Global AI Hackathon 2026 closing ceremony. As you know, today is a celebration of the students' innovation and global collaboration that emerge when young people are given the opportunity to apply AI to real-world challenges. At the American University of Bahrain, we believe in a students-centric approach, preparing students not only with the knowledge, but with the confidence, creativity, and practical skills needed to succeed in a rapidly changing world. That's why this hackathon is so meaningful for us. I would like just to say that to everyone, to all the students who participate in this hackathon, congratulations, whether you are receiving an award today or simply completing the journey. You have already accomplished something important, which is very, very important for you. You stepped forward, you built something, you challenged yourself, and you became part of the global community of learners and innovators. These experiences are essential because they help students see themselves not only as learners, but as builders, leaders, and problem solvers. I would also to thank USAII for creating this platform, which it is very great, that brings together students, educators, and institutions from around the world. As we close this year hackathon, I encourage every participant to continue building, continue learning, and continue using technology responsibly and creatively. Congratulations to all of you, and I'm excited to see whether your ideas take you next. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. And, this is just the beginning of our journey. We encourage you all to stay in touch, right? I think, well, first of all, you may have won in 2026. You may have participated, but there's an opportunity in 2027 to either repeat or win for the first time. So to our students, keep building, keep asking questions, keep experimenting, because your ideas matter. And we would love to continue this conversation through our learning programs, our certifications, our community, our alumni engagement, and our upcoming global events. So I want to say special thanks to the thousands of students that I spoke to across the globe, and the hundreds and hundreds of undergrad, K through 12 grad universities and schools. So yeah, thank you again for being part of the hackathon. And I mean, personally, I'm really proud of what you accomplished, and look forward to continuing the journey with you. So I'm here, we're all here, and congrats.
Okay, yeah, so just to, so everyone, your questions are answered. The award winners, 15 teams will receive cash prizes and USA certifications of 100% scholarships. You will be receiving emails for this, explaining all of this in detail. For those of you that participated in the qualifier and completed the qualifier and received a qualifying code, you will also receive an email, and you will receive a certification for that. Hackathon participants, if you qualified and you submitted a project in the hackathon, you will receive a certification for that. These certificates are something you can download. You can use these for your portfolio, whatever you may do. For certification scholarships, there are 3 categories. If you participate in the qualifier and submitted the qualifier and did not advance to the hackathon, but you did complete the qualifier, you will be eligible for a 15% scholarship and to the USAI certification programs, which we'll go over shortly. If you qualified and you participated in the hackathon and submitted a project, you will be receiving a 25% scholarship to one of the USAI certification programs. And for the winners, those 15 winners, you will get a 100% scholarship. And this is for all members on the teams. Okay, so all members will receive the same amount. Okay, so just expect from us early next week an email explaining all of this in detail. And so like Mike said, your AI journey does not end here. We have a boot camp that we created specifically for the hackathon, but that's still available for you to do. We have these boot camps are 1 to 2 weeks. And we also have USAI certifications, which are 4 to 12 weeks. Mike, do you want to hop back on and explain those a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, and Marcy, as you said, and I mentioned, this journey has just started with our students, with our educational institutions. We have many programs, specifically through for K through 12, undergrad and grad. So we encourage you to participate. We encourage you to participate in next year's hackathon, and we want to stay in touch, right? We obviously have the future of the world, and we're in good hands. So, special thanks to everybody.
We're about ready to sign off. I know we know it was a lot of information to share, but it was also a lot of things to celebrate. So thank you to everyone, and we hope to see you again next year, and be expecting emails from us. Way to go, teams. Woohoo! Good job.